Alright, so today's hero I'm going to talk about is Serpent King. Serpent King's another backline Fury hero. We've been getting quite a few of those lately. I think just trying to get some diversity in Fury backline, as Fury backline historically hasn't had a lot to them, not very many attackers or even support. You've had Mystic Punk, Grizzled Hunter, but that's about it. Willow Druid, but not a lot of diversity and interesting effects you can have, so they've been adding some of those. So on to stats. Stats wise, actually really nice. 760 attack, so a pretty high attack. 8,000 health, good health. 0.75 attack speed, really good attack speed, and 10 energy regeneration. So pretty much across the board, actually, a very powerful hero stats-wise. On to skills, though. Serpent's Vice, Serpent King deals actually a pretty good amount of damage to all enemies, and then sets their max health to their current health for the rest of the wave. Now, this debuff can be removed with a Bless skill, so Twin Trackers can actually get out of that, as well as I know there's some other heroes that have Bless, but they use that Bless, and so it then uncaps their health. But this health cap and damage is really nice, especially leveling this up. Haven't got to level it up a ton yet, but as you go and level it up more, this can be a really nice restriction. And with this amazing energy generation, you can fire the skill off quite frequently, because with an energy regeneration of 10, every 10 seconds you can be using Serpent's Vice. So if you know you're against a team that doesn't have anyone that can bless, this can be really nice against a lot of heroes who like to heal, maybe Howling Claw, maybe Sparkle Pony, anyone with a lot of healing heroes. Serpent's Vice will deal a lot of damage to the entire team, and then cap all the enemy team's health to what their life is at after the skill's activated. So even if you have... This is also really actually important to note. If you have any other skills on your team that you can fire before, I've talked about flipping your skills to manual before. If you have Portal Princess, Hex Witch, people that do a lot of damage for their main skill, use their main skills and then wait and do Serpent's Vices last, just because if you do Portal Princess or Sparkle Pony or Hex Witch, they do all their damage and then use Serpent's Vice. If you time it right, there's no time to heal, and the enemy team can be stuck with an extraordinarily low amount of health for the rest of the wave, and if they don't have a Bless skill to get rid of it, then they're kind of really in trouble. This can be really, especially like I said before, taking out Howling Claw, Scar Brawler, any front line or back line, capping their health off like that can be such a game changer for the rest of the wave. I'm definitely going to work on Serpent King and get Serpent King into my main lineups, because this is an amazing skill right here and kind of a real game changer. But onto the green skill, Curse Touch. Attacks and skills apply the curse status for 2 seconds. Another good anti-healing ability, so you're going to want to make sure you use Serpent King against people who really like to heal, because Serpent King caps their health off, so they can't heal above a certain amount. Curse Touch, and so Serpent's Vice, since it is a skill, also curses the entire enemy team for 2 seconds, and then on top of that, every attack and skill he uses, so with an attack speed of 0.75, going to fire off a lot of attacks. Every time he attacks, it curses whatever enemy he attacks for 2 seconds, so they can't heal. So really powerful there. This is a skill that you have to level up to the level of the enemy teams, or else it has a chance to fail. But onto the blue skill, Serve Your King, turns the closest enemy into a damage conduit for 3 seconds. During this time, their threats maxed, and 50% of the damage they would take is instead passed off to their healthiest ally. When this ends, the initial target takes a fair amount of damage, so this is a slightly confusing skill, but I'll try and explain. So the closest enemy to Serpent King, the threat is maxed out, and all of your team is going to target that enemy. So they're going to be taking a lot of damage. So it kind of takes the closest enemy and just beats the crap out of them. And then half the damage that they would have taken is instead passed on to the healthiest ally. So say Howling Claw is the enemy's closest hero to Serpent King. So all of a sudden all your team starts targeting Howling Claw. So deals a lot of damage to Howling Claw, as well as 50% of the damage that's being done to Howling Claw is actually diverted from Howling Claw to the healthiest other enemy. So even if Howling Claw is the healthiest enemy, it doesn't go to him. It's passed off to their healthiest ally. So say there's a Birdbarian in the back line that would be the healthiest next to that. So it just goes, all the attacks go straight to Howling Claw. Half that damage is instead diverted to Birdbarian. So it kind of changes it in, makes it so only 2 of the enemies on the enemy team are being attacked for that 3 seconds. So kind of a nice little, I guess, damage dealio there. Helps restrain the damage just to 2 people. This skill's also really well for taking out the closest enemy, because all of a sudden your entire team focuses their attacks on that enemy to try and take out that front line or whatever the problem is, as well as the healthiest enemy on the other team is also being damaged, which will work really well because Serpent's Vice can then help him restrict that health, so it kind of caps off that healthiest ally, won't end up being the healthiest at all, and really kind of evens out the playing field there. And then this last skill, Energetic Aura, allies gain 25 energy at the end of the wave. So as far as Fortress, this isn't going to be really useful, but especially in War, at the end of the first wave, if you have this leveled up, if you don't have this leveled up to the enemy's level you are fighting, then there's a chance for it to fail. But especially in War, at the end of the first wave, that little minion wave you're fighting, all your allies will gain 25 energy, kind of charge them up for that second wave, which is really nice. Thanks for watching. Serpent King's a hero I highly recommend, and I'm going to upgrade a lot for my own personal use. Got a lot of stamina to burn in the next day or two, so that's going to be really nice. But if you have any other questions, any heroes you want me to do videos on, or focus my epic skills on, I'd be glad to help, glad to answer questions. But thanks for watching, and enjoy.